Hi everyone, it's AC here, and I'll be talking about the Three Stooges timeline, um, and and the Stooges started back in the 1920s. Back then they had Mo Howard and Ted Healy started the Stooges. Then they had Shemp. They had Shemp joined, and Larry joined like 1928. And for about a good 4 or 5 years, it was called Tedley and Stooge with Ted Healy, Mo, Larry, and Shemp. Shemp's only feature film with Ted Healy and Stooge was Soup to Nuts from 1930. So and then Curly Howard, which is Mo and Shemp's brother, the younger brother that joined them in the end of 1932, early 1933, and Ted Healy and Stooges were a thing for 5 years. Curly was the third Stooge until 1946. They did some MGM stuff on films like Dancing Lady, The Big Idea, and so much more. Now let's get to the Columbia years. Ted Healy, they were sick of Ted Healy's drinking habits, and he was an alcoholic. Even Shemp admitted that he was sick. He was sick of his drinking habits and his gambling habits. Yeah, and then they took a straight on the relationship. So yeah, let me talk about the Columbia shorts. Well, from 1934 to 1959, they did 190 Columbia two-reeler shorts, which back in those days, Columbia Pictures did shorts for 2 decades. Not just the Three Stooges, but they also had like the Third Stooges solo. They had Shemp did his own shorts before he rejoined them in the late 1940s. Joe Besser had a contract with Columbia. He did some two-reelers solely before he was joined this Third Stooge after Shemp died. Then Joe DeRita did, also Curly Joe DeRita was another act, but he didn't last as long on those two-reelers like Shemp and Joe Besta. But yeah. Also has Sterling Holloway, L. Brindle, Andy Clyde, so much more. And I discovered the Three Stooges when I was like 5 years old. I've had one of their DVDs. I still have it to this day. As like the four, like for the most popular 4 episodes of the Stooges' careers. Disorder the Court, Sing a Song of Sixpence, Bridleless Groom, and Mouse in the Palace. But yeah, the Three Stooges have made a lot of great shorts during that time. The Mo, Larry, and Curly were a duo from 1934 and 1946. Which Curly left due to his strokes on May 6th of 1946. He had a stroke during the end of filming Halfwit's Holiday, which made the debut of Emil Sitka, which I'll talk about him later on. yeah, and I don't know what my favorite Three Stooges Curly episode. There's a lot of good ones, folks. I would say Disorder the Court, A Plumbing We Will Go, Three Little Pirates, Microphonies. They're probably my favorite Curly episodes. Nutty Be Nice is also good. I'll Never Heal Again. Yeah, yeah, and they did three movies during their time with Columbia. The, and there was a movie that came out in 1938. It was called Start Cheering, and then Time Out for Rhythm, 1941. That took 2 3 weeks to film Time Out for Rhythm. It was filmed between late February to middle March 1941, and Rocking in the Rockies came out in 1945, but it was filmed between the episodes Idiots Deluxe and If a Body Meets a Body, which Idiots Deluxe was filmed in October 1944, and If a Body Meets a Body was filmed in March of 1945. Rocky and the Rockies was filmed from December 1st through December 22nd of 1944. That the Rocky and the Rockies movie was on the Three Stooges bonus features, along with Have Rocket Will Travel, as well. And so yeah, that the Rocky and the Rockies movie was filmed before Curly was diagnosed with the strokes. He had some mini strokes between 1945 and 1946. And it was some great Columbia shorts during that era. And tell me in the comments down below what your favorite Curly episode is. Let's get into a ship episode, shall we? Well, the Three Stooges duo from mid 1946 till 1955 was Mo, Larry, and Shemp. They had filmed some pretty good, cool episodes that era too. Friday Night, Hold That Line, Brideless Groom, oh yeah, Punchy Cowpunchers, Vagabond Loafers, you name it, guys. And my favorite ship episode would have to be, I think it would have to be Brideless Groom or Shivering Sherlock's Friday Night. One of those, I think, are my probably top 3 favorite episodes. And as we tell in the 1947 through 1948 episodes, a majority of them were originally written for Curly before he suddenly left, sadly. Like for example, Friday Night was originally going to be a Curly episode. It was written for Curly. I'm a Monkey's Uncle was written to be a Curly episode. Who Done It, which was filmed in like December 1947, but wasn't released till March of 1949, about over a year after the production date. I did not know that Shemp was a Stooge before Curly joined. So it was a real blessing for them to find Moe's brother Shemp to replace Curly. That's really nice of them to do that. And Shemp died on November 22nd of 1955 due to heart attack. Curly died January 18th of 1952. Larry died January 24th, 1975. Mo died May 4th of 1975. Joe Besser died March 1st of 1988. Joe DeRita died July 3rd of 1993. So let's get into the Joe Besser era, shall we? Uh, so Joe Besser joined the Stooges in 1956. Did their last 16 Columbia shorts with them with them which the Joe Besser shorts were released between 1957 through 1959. And the first episode they did with Joe Besser was filmed from April 18th through April 20th of 1956. They had Birdie the horse. And Mo played Birdie's sister. Played the Birdie character. He was disguised in a wig. That made me laugh so loud. I can't believe. And crazy enough, Joe Besser and Shemp were friends before Joe Besser was even one of the Stooges. They did a movie Abbott and Costello movie called Africa Screams, which came out in 1949. And Mo was wanting Joe DeRita to join as early as 1956 after Shemp died. But Harry Conn, who was running Columbia at the time, didn't like Mo's didn't like the choices. They wanted to do Joe Besser and make it make it easier because he already had a Columbia contract for a good 7 years before he joined the Stooges. Yeah, my favorite Joe episode Besser episode would have to be Pies and Guys, Outer Space Saffy, Outer Space Jitters. There's some good Joe Besser episodes. I don't get why people think Joe Besser's not a good stooge. Maybe, alright, I know he's probably not as good as a third stooge as Curly and Shemp were, but yeah, go give those Joe Besser shorts a try. And tell me in the comments down below on what you think of the Joe Besser shorts. We'll see. Yeah, and they filmed they filmed the episode of Flying Saucer Duffy in December 19th and 20th of 1957. Which Flying Saucer Duffy was not the last one released, but was the last one filmed. But Sappy Bull Fires, which wasn't released till middle of 1949, was filmed before Flying Saucer Daffy, which Sappy Bull's Fires was filmed from late June to early July 1957, which those Joe Besser shorts were between 15 and 16 minutes. And yeah, oh yeah. So just give those Joe Besser shorts a try. Watch at least one. If you like it, continue to watch it. But if you don't, that's fine. I don't blame you. But anyway, let's get to Curly Joe and Mo era. The Curly Joe era, which was the last era of the Stooges, which was from August 1958 till 1970, they which 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 they quit in 1970 because of Larry's stroke. So yeah, Joe DeRita joined the Stooges in August of 1958, and he was a great fit for the Stooges. Yeah, and there are obvious reasons they named him Curly Joe, because of Curly Howard and Joe Besser, because that was crazy. I had two Joes as third Stooges. His Joe Besser was re, he was replaced by Joe Besser, obviously. And Joe Besser was going to be a Stooge longer, but they could but Joe didn't want Joe couldn't even do anything. Besser couldn't do anything with him due to his wife having a heart attack at the time of their Columbia shutdown. So so yeah, and the Curly Joe era did a lot of decent films. The Three Stooges meet Hercules. The Three Stooges go around the world in a daze, and the Outlaws is coming. Have Rocket will travel, and and so much more. I feel like they could have done. I feel like they could have done some more films. Could have done some movies during the Curly and Shemp era, but but due to the failures on the Rocky and the Rockies, for example, that that didn't work. But that didn't work. Like Mo was really thinking about doing a lot of more, but they chose over those Columbia shorts, which I'm fine with because I enjoy those Columbia shorts. And they did not do the eye poke as much during the later years because they had some complaining mothers out there because their children started eye poking their siblings out or friends because of Three Stooges, and Mo, and Mo was like, okay, we won't do it anymore. But it's also partly due to him and Larry's age because they were in their 60s when they were the Curly Joe era. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Ted Healy died December 21st of 1937, and the Three Stooges did Cook's tour in 1970, and they did the new Three Stooges as a cartoon show for kids, obviously, and they did some live action skits in like 1965. They had their longtime Stooge character actors, Emil Sika and Harold Brower, which those two legends are the only two actors that appeared in all the era shorts. Curly Shemp, Joe and Curly Joe stuff. Even though Harold Brower and Emil Sika did only did one Curly episode. Harold Brower's first appearance was Three Lone Wolves, which was 1946. Emil Sika's debut was Halfwit's Holiday, 1946, but it wasn't released till early 1947. And before we sign off, I'm gonna say about fake Shemp because after Shemp died before they had started doing stuff with Joe Besser, they did a fake Shemp on those last four episodes. Rumpus the Harem, schemers, Hot Stuff, and Commotion in the Ocean, and and unfortunately, Joe Pollan did not have enough screen time for Fake Ship. I see why, because to trick us, Stooge. We and they tried to do the Fake Ship thing for some reason. That was kind of crazy, but that was kind of crazy at the time. So yeah, because Joe Palma started working with the Stooges in 1940. His debut was in From Nurse to Wuss, which is a 1940 episode. He did a lot of Shemp episodes, and he was a character actor in Columbia shorts, too. Not just for the Stooges, but he also did some Shemp solo and Joe Besser solo. But unfortunately, he did not do anything with Curly Joe DeRita during the later years, which is kind of sad. But what a shame, though. Joe Palma he was still alive, but he did other projects at the time as well. And let's get into Emil Sika. Emil Sika. I don't know if I consider him as a third Stooge or not, but Mo tried to bring back the Stooges in like 1971. Emil Sika, then Curly Joe and Mo were the we're gonna like do some promotions together, but in 1971, Emo's like, I'm not sure if it work out my schedule or not. And then like Mo and Mo tried to bring it back like late 1974, early 1975. But they were gonna do some a cameo work in a 1975 film called Blazing Stewardess, which looks pretty bad. So do not watch it, please. But they rehearsed it, but they were gonna do it for the film. But Mo died. Mo died in mid 1975. So those plans were unfortunately canceled, and Emil Silver's gonna play Larry's brother Harry. Harry, and I think Emil Seeger would be a great replacement for Larry, though. Look out through the picture from early 1975, and Mo was pretty ill during the picture. But I think if it wasn't for Mo's health and Emil telling them like complaining to Mo and Curly Joe about the stuff in 1971, I think we could see at least do one film, or maybe do some do at least a commercial together. That'll been great. But yeah, we had other like Mo dying and other plans. So everyone, comment down below and tell me what your favorite Stooge of all time and what your favorite Three Stooges short is, or your favorite full-length Three Stooges movie, or anything Three Stooges related, or you can tell me whatever you guys want. And there's the March calendar. And that episode was Heavenly Days, which was filmed in June of 1940. Of June 1947, June 23rd through 26th. Thank you everyone for joining the video, and keep going, growing, happy wiggling. See you guys.